Hi and welcome back to the Bucket List with me, Beth Crystal Wilson, brought to you tonight from the Deep in Hull. We're here as part of our Days Out guide on the bucket list. It's about time we went inside and had a look behind the scenes. So Colin, we can see the Deep as it is today, but how did it start off?
Oh, it's a very long story really, but I was the Director of Tourism in the city, and we did a tourism strategy and we said, look, actually we've got a lot of good attractions in the city, but we lack one reason why people would come here in the first place. And we didn't know what that would be. And one day my chairman came and said, you know, this new idea we've got, or we need, how about the Natural History Museum in London, getting them to come to Hull? And I thought, well, there's going to be easier things to do. I thought they were probably quite settled in London. But anyway, nothing ventured, nothing gained. We went down and talked to them. And they thought the idea of a natural history museum was great. But of course, we didn't have a natural history collection. In a Natural History Museum, we've got 2 dodos, you know, not easy to get anymore.
Not really.
So on the way back, you know, the chairman and I were discussing it, and we said, look, if we want to build an attraction, we want an attraction that is in Hull for a reason, not that's just been parachuted in, for no reason. So we thought, well, the reason Hull is here is relationship with the sea. So let's do a Natural History Museum of the sea. That's never been done before. And you know, even then we knew that the budget wouldn't stretch to building the greatest aquarium in the world, but if we were to invent something new, then we would be. And that's why actually we became the world's only submarium to try and get this idea. It's a Natural History Museum of the sea.
Well, Lindsay, half term is over. It's heading towards Christmas now. What events and such have you got on here at the Deep from now until then?
Well, we have quite a lot going off. We always have lots going off. We like to have our visitors have something to do, so not just wandering around and having a look at the exhibits that we have there constantly. We like to shake things up a little bit. So what we have going off generally, especially in the main tank behind me, we have 3 feeds happening over the course of the day. These are scatter feeds. So food gets thrown in 3 times a day. All of these animals, it's when this tank really comes alive. You get to see all the different fish in there. We have around 400 fish in there, so sometimes you don't really see all the different species in there.
But as soon as the food goes in, they come out.
Yeah, they're really excited. It's a really high point of their day, really. So that's a great time for visitors to join us. They get to see all the different fish in there. They get to see them feeding, which is great. It's a really popular time. Yeah, so 3 times a day, 12, 2 and 4 o'clock. So it's spaced out, so they're going to have an opportunity to come and see that over the course of the day.
And is there anywhere at the Deep where kids and adults as well can get hands-on with animals?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a real highlight as well for a lot of visitors, because we have just behind us there we have a touch pool session. So we've got a few of the animals that are found along the UK coastlines. So really animals that are on our doorstep. So it's great for visitors to have a bit of an awareness of what's local, not just like the tropical species behind, but also ones that are a bit closer to home, really. So we've got crabs, starfish, sea urchins, some of the stranger creatures that you wouldn't really think are along our coastline. So just getting to see that and touch them and really be a part of it, yeah, kids love it, adults love it, it's great for everybody.
So we've come to the Discovery Corner touch pool to get hands-on with a rather big starfish. This one's huge.
Yeah, this is a green spiny starfish.
And where would this be found?
You can find, in fact, all the animals in these touch pools are found around the British Isles, which is why our water's so cold in here.
Yeah, it is freezing.
It is. It's about 8 to 10 degrees depending on the season.
Okay, and how old would this be? Can you gauge it by the size?
Do you know, I don't know how old it is, but this one is quite a big one compared to some of the other ones that we have.
Yeah, and then all these bits underneath, they cling onto the rocks.
Yeah, I'll show you the underside. You can see under here that it's covered in these tube feet, these little suckers that suck onto things like it was sucked onto the rocks at the bottom, and this one here is sucked onto the window, so you can see the tube feet on that one's body.
Okay.
Its mouth is actually here, right in the middle.
Right.
You can't see it, but you could if it was eating, because it would actually spit its stomach out. So it would be like a big bubble sticking out of its body. That would be its stomach sticking out.
So is that just to get the food in there straight
Yeah, they
away?
digest the food outside the body, and then they suck the tummy back in when they're finished eating.
And what do you feed them?
These guys are fed on a variety of things, mainly razor clam and also mussels. So they also use those tube feet to prise the shells open to get the food out.
They need to be really strong to do that.
Oh yeah.
Which of the animals here do you like the most? Obviously you've got 400 fish to choose from and all the other creatures. Is the one that you, every day, you kind of look forward to going to see?
Absolutely, yeah. In here, believe it or not, we do have sharks in this tank. It's a shallower tank, so it's a smaller species of shark. It's called the epaulet shark. It's about 1 metre in length, it's very spotty, and it's highly nocturnal. So generally during the day, they're very shy, very secluded. They tend to hide towards the back area of the tank. So early doors, you don't really see them, but it's that 4 o'clock feed at the end of the day where they tend to come out and venture into the sandy area. We've got youngsters in there at the moment. They're an amazing shark, a lot different to all the other sharks. They're called the walking shark. So it's the only shark that can actually come out onto land. So it's very unique in that way. The beautiful creatures, and yeah, I like to point them out when they come out for food.
Worth hanging around to the end of the day.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a bit quieter then as well. If it is a particular busy day, then come along, they can have a look, you know, massive area, you know, windows to see everything that's happening.
And over those 12, 13 years that the Deep has been here, how's it changed and grown over that time?
Yeah, I think if you actually could visit on our opening day, you'd see that actually that there's been literally hundreds of changes. One of the things that we're very conscious of is a visitor attraction is a bit like running a cinema that shows Lord of the Rings forever. You know, you have to change it. So yeah, it's changed a lot. And I think the other thing that's changed is our research and conservation work.
Yeah.
I think when we opened, it was we considered ourselves perhaps we could fund other people's research. Now we actually send divers out into the field and we actually do it. And in a way that's been quite concerning, because you sort of think, well, if an institution like us with relatively modest and modest budgets can establish itself as a genuine player, then there aren't enough people doing work on the threats to the ocean.
I can see lots of exciting things swimming around. What have we got in the pool behind us?
So the main ones that are swimming around here, we've got jacks, 2 species of jack. We've got horse-eye jack and crevalle jack.
Okay.
They're kind of large-ish fish related to tuna. Other than that, we've got some grey reef sharks and white-tip reef sharks swimming about around there.
All you've just described does not make me want to get in that water at all, but it's actually something you do every day, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds more daunting than it actually is. They're not really that bad at all.
Okay.
It's just kind of that stigma that goes with sharks that obviously a lot of people tend to think that they're man-eaters, and very, very few of them are, and none of them actually go out of the way to eat humans anyway.
So when you do go down there, what is it that you're doing? Is it to clean? Is it to feed the animals? Is it just to check them out? How does it work?
It varies. I mean, like say 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, there's a target feed that goes on in there. So that's taking a bucket that's sectioned out into each individual's feed, and the sharks will actually have to approach from a certain angle before they get fed. If they don't approach properly, then they'll have to come back and do it again. So it's done on a training basis, so it reduces kind of any likelihood that accidental bites. Other than that, maintenance dives are quite a big one, so going down, making sure that the sand is gravel vaxed, windows are clean, walls are clean, rocks clean.
It sounds like there is a bit of cleaning in there as well, but it still sounds glamorous saying you go swim with sharks most days.
Yeah, I mean, well, there is a lot of cleaning. Beyond like the glamour of what appears to be the job, there's a lot of cleaning. Out of the water as well. You know, majority of the job is cleaning up after animals, really.
Right, nice.
Yeah.
So just like walking your dog, really?
Yeah, essentially.
See, what are your hopes for the future, both within the Deep here in Hull and the research that you do elsewhere around the world?
Well, taking ourselves, I think it's probably fair to say we're never quite sure what the next step is until it comes along. We're developing our corporate functions, so weddings, birthdays. We even had a funeral, believe it or not.
Right.
So finding other ways in which we can make the building work for us.
Yeah.
And then we've got other plans for refurbishment, bringing in seahorses and other species like that. That's a bit further down the line. In terms of our conservation work, I think one of the things that we're very keen on is not just jumping into a conservation project for 18 months, getting the headline and then walking away from it. So
see it through.
we want to see it through. We want to be seen as a partner that sticks when things get tough. And so we are going to be carrying on with the Cousteau Foundation in our work in Sudan, which you've probably heard about. But as you can imagine, with all the political problems out there, you know, that you have to stick at it when things get tough, and so we're going to carry on with that.